Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on the road to Kharkov. Between the north, you got Romeo, fighting for America, freedom and democracy, liberty. Taking on the role here of the 1st Armored Division, charged with clearing out those goddamn krauts under the command of Tobis, fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland. The 116th Panzer Division Vinhund here with Scavenge, Firestorm and Special Operations, Triple Infantry versus Romeo's Infantry, Rifle and Airborne Company, also with Triple Infantry. Triple the infantry, triple the fun. We got double full squads with Jump Out Squad there for Tobis versus double Rifle there for Romeo. Might not be an indicator then of Rifle Companies, as most players who do aim for Rifle Company tend to go for some extra reissues in the opening game, though not all do. For example, I don't, because I don't care so much about the flamethrowers as I care about the tanks and the white phosphorus and the fire up. The one flamethrower is neat. We got barbed wire going. You have been in interesting positioning. I think what basically Tobis is doing is setting up barbed wire ahead so Fulsker Squad can later move in and lay down the sandbags behind it. I think that's what Tobis is doing there. I might be wrong though. I might be wrong. Fulsker going to be moving extra moving westwards there. We got one full squad being sent eastwards here, as Romeo is moving ahead slowly for America, laying down tank traps, securing territory, advancing for America. With a third full squad on the way there for Tobis. Tobis pushes the envelope of infantry additions and keeps up laying barbed wire here and there. Again, I feel like it's just he's sort of trying to head for sandbags ahead of time. It's that he's got some really interesting ideas about barbed wire. Usually the sort of ones that involve tinfoil hats. Sturm Pioneer pushing against the rifle squad there. Assault rifles versus the M1 Garand, closing in aggressively, pulling into light cover. The problem is this little rifleman, but there you go, getting some damage. Full squad arriving here. Should probably try and pull them into the cover there to get some extra damage in a bit faster. So Sturm Pioneer running most fine. There you go, rifle push back. In the centre, rifle moving up. In the east, full squad moving up there. Could in fact try and push straight for the fuel pond, use the house, and then just tie down Romeo's troops. But no sign of that yet. Sturm Pioneers need to get out of there. Pop out the back door, pop over the wall, and hit retreat. And there you go. It is in fact not the tinfoil hat solution here that Tobis is aiming for. It is the preparing sandbag positions ahead of time. Clever Tobis. And there you go, right back to power. We could actually pop the incendiary grenade there, but he didn't. Instead, we got sandbags there pulling back towards the heavy cover position. The sandbags. Back here, more full Sturm Pioneers than later Tobis. Actually, I would focus more full Pioneers, but some players do go for more Sturm Pioneer. And he's going for double Sturm Pioneers. That does, I think, increase the chance of him actually going for Firestorm here and some Flammenwerfers. So a bit of a shootout here. Folks could flank in. There's a lot of rifle already pulling into heavy cover. You can see the Tobis system pulls back. Tobis, in this case, are having a free access to the fuel pond. So basically, Romeo's moved all his forces, but he can't really advance it because he's seemingly afraid of moving ahead there because it doesn't take excessive casualties, which means Tobis can just go straight for all the other points and just hit Romeo that way. So Romeo, I think, needs to bite the bullet and accept there's going to be some casualties. There we go. Tobis does pull for Firestorm. And we'll be pulling there for flamethrowers. Putting some more pressure on Romeo down the road. Folks here losing out to the rifle ever slowly. Ever so very slowly there. And there you go, the full squad pushed back. Romeo strikes back with a vengeance. Got the Sturm Pioneer moving ahead there. Flammenwerfers at the ready. And George there trying to crawl to safety. My God, I can't feel my lower intestines. Oh God. M20 on the way there for Romeo. That's going to put some pressure on Tobis, who's only got Panzerfaust to stop. But he is taking a hit, but that does mean there's going to be a small window. I think he's going to be a bit unprepared for the M20. He does hit the fuel pond though, and that gives him a small window. He can sort of pull a hit there off Romeo in terms of fuel, though how long he holds the foot out there could actually prove detrimental, since Romeo is basically threatening the cut-off path. There's more and more troops in call to get the M20 in there. We got Lieutenant moving up as well here. We got Steel Empire squad here, but they're going to get focused down as well here by Romeo's troops, as Romeo hits hard into the east. Steel Empire is down to already 2 men less than half health, and there you go. They're swarming on the Fulskers up north here, and there you go. Hits retreat. Romeo unleashes the Freedom Blob on Tobis' Volksgrenadiers, and there you go. Heavy damage being inflicted on the Volksgrenadiers. chance of a wipe. Here we got the M20 moving in as well. The chance of survival are pretty much nil here for Tobis. This folks going to be a scar fully annihilated by Romeo. Let's cut off the fuel point there, but has yet to secure it. Still a bit of a loss there for Tobis in the early game. Battle Group headquarters going up, and we can see Meat laying down mines. He's probably anticipating a flak half track then again with the sort of rush here that Tobis going on. He could be figuring a looks either way though. Romeo's taking no chance, and Romeo's also one of the few players I know that have actually laid down mines. I still remember very earlier episodes where he actually was able to disable a Panther and a King Tiger using M6 anti-tank mines from the M20. Further fun fact, I believe M20s were usually sort of put together with jeeps to sort of serve in tank destroyers. So they're basically sort of either command vehicles or basically the vehicles that were meant to spot ahead for their tank destroyers, as a fun side note. So there you go. We got Fulton versus Rifleman. And there you go. Second position being pet again there by the barbed wire. Again, Tobis displaying some high degrees of foresight there, which you usually don't see from a lot of Orbital Commando West players. We got assault labs on the way. Interesting enough, no MP40s though. No MP40s from Tobis. Got the ambulance moving up here. Romeo moving ahead with it, setting up a forward position with which to fight the Krauts. Fulton's just saying about this, anticipating Romeo trying to push here, but so far Romeo I think is being occupied here with the move towards the carve point. And of course, Tobis needs to be careful he doesn't suffer another wipe. Will he be going for minesweepers though? Will he be anticipating that Romeo will be laying down M6 mines? I mean, Tobis has been displaying a degree of foresight, which again you don't see, so it might be just sort of realizes, this Romeo chap might be up to something. He might be up to something. But it doesn't involve orbital blitzes here for Tobis, tragically. Why don't they ever go for the orbital blitz? It's good. Sturmpanzer getting blasted here by a lot of angry Yankees. And we got there the Panzerfaust. Damaging the engine. Carrying the Sturmpanzer need to fall back. Someone got a Kenneth creeping ahead. He's buying timing for the Kenneth to get off the shot. The problem is there's this slight bit of hedge for us. There might be a problem. And there we go. Yeah, he can't shoot past it. And Tobis is going for the flak after it, the 251-17. Will Romeo, they've been laying down more mines. Will he be preparing for this? And will Romeo be going for... Oh, there we go. Just as I wonder, will Romeo be going for Doctrine? He goes for Doctrine. It's funny how this always happens. And it's not like I'm actually planning this. And it's not, I was looking here, oh, where's the most ironic reversal of what I'm saying? It's just, when I say boom, it happens. Anyways, troops are reinforcing. Got flak half tracks along the way there slowly. Romeo dropping in some paratroopers on the 101st Airborne. I'm like Ken for these to get out of the Sturmpanzer retreating. In this case, we can see Tobis does not want a repeat of last time, and in this case, it might set up. But there you go. M20 in front of it. He's trying to use the Kidnap. I think actually there's bait that to an extent just get off a shot, which just I think briefly removes enough attention from the Sturmpanzers to allow them to escape there. If the M20 would like to pursue again, but thanks to the Kedma effort, Romeo sort of slightly broke through there. That was a really clever move there by Tobis. That was really clever. Risky, but clever. And there you go. 251-17 around there for Tobis. Not the most common variant. This version, by the way, or variant, was actually a workshop-made version for the front lines for the course, not the course starts with the Hammond Göring Fallschirm Panzerdivision. More common versions would be in some ways less advanced. Also, more commonly, they'd also be using just regular non-armoured half-tracks for sort of for such purposes. They're apparently, though, quite popular with the troops who needed them, in supporting Stooks, for example, as well. Got the M10 to move out there, 50 car moving up there in the flat half-track. And 27 mechanic gets a few hits, gets in front of the Panzerfaust. Still Pioneers, though, need to get out of there. Romeo has not been laying down a single mine after that first. Perhaps he's worried about spending too much munitions on it. Romeo, though, calling an anti-tank gun from the skies. And we can also see the paratroop that equipped with the Thompson submachine gun, the Tommy gun. Not the sort of original gangster version. Obviously, the Thompson submachine gun was already a pretty heavy submachine gun. And, the drum magazine would have been just made it even more heavy and unwieldy. In fact, the Russians found the Thompson to be too heavy and thus they didn't actually like it. In part because also the magazines, the bullets, calibers were much bigger, so they could actually only carry less ammunition. So that was actually another reason for them not to like it. And probably also why they then not gone for the grease gun either, because similar to the ammunition, they would have been able to carry less munitions for the grease guns. Though for the Americans, having to carry around a lot of munitions was not an issue for them, since most of the units were basically motorized one way or the other, or mechanized, so they were less concerned about it. Didn't have to worry about the men having to care about that much ammunition. That's a fun note. In the south, the territory being secured, folks, they need to fall back. I don't think they can maintain their position long versus Romeo. The flak half take also a bit careful there on its own, as he's got no clear line of sight, and in theory also could allow himself to be snuck up on by Romeo. Rather than getting blasted out by the 251. Greyhound there fixed up again. But we got the anti-tank here, the M1. Shoots and misses. At this stage, Romeo might want to consider finding position next to cover his cuff one, considering how Tobis just sort of very consistently, very aggressively hits. There you go, full squad. He could see another wipe here. He could see another wipe. There's a small chance, but there you go. Flak half track to the rescue. Quickly mows down several riflemen, or at least mows down one, and maybe gets some petrol process. There you go. Gets a few kills, then falls back. Sturm Pioneers is trying to deal with the anti-tank and is getting mowed down by the M20 and the Pros rifle also opening up here. And there you go, got the flak after him, and there you go, he pops smoke. That's an interesting position he did there. I guess he was trying to cover up other troops so he can sort of grab the point safely. Didn't quite work. In this case, the rifle trying to creep through the smoke. They immediately takes it, but there's another rifle squad moving in. Need to get the anti-tank up there, Romeo. Get it up there. Hit by the Raketner on the M20. Smoke pop. Anti-tank and still not moving. Needs to, I think, abandon the M20. Maybe, maybe not. That was certainly some very close maneuvering there, and Romeo, I think, managed off. In this case, the Tobis pushed his flak half-track too far. I also think he was just surprised at Romeo's maneuvers, and the flak half-track goes down, scoring him a kill, and depriving Tobis of a vital asset in the fight for the fatherland. Back here, the troops are reinforcing. Doubles flamethrowers now up. No further takeoff for Tobis, and no Orbital Blitz. Pulling back here, the forward ambulance certainly serves a purpose there for Romeo. Allow him to quickly pull back units for healing reinforcement. Allow him to fall on the back all the way to base. Very good stuff there. Reason's moving up. M20 setting out. Grabbing points in. We got filters right in there for Tobis. Straight into the rifleman. Few shots fired. We got the M20 moving in there. Blasting at the Germans. McKenna for hits there. Taking it down to half health in a very few set of moments. Romeo is taking up. There's going to be thick people pulling out of tanks here before Tobis, who has not yet been able to take up. Also interesting considering, you know, that Tobis is the one that's been able to more aggressively harass Romeo's fuel. He's not necessarily able to actually get ahead too far. Of course, the flak half-track plays a bit of a role in that. Troops that are being suppressed by the MD-34. Romeo, I think, should consider sending up a larger force to raid the fuel pond there instead of just trying to make these sort of really, really big, almost block-like pushes at times, which of course gives them a lot of firepower, but they do mean map control-wise he's not quite, I think, putting enough pressure than Tobis, whereas Tobis is less, you know, raw force-oriented against the more foresight, smarter tactical movements that was sort of slowly inching ahead, but also pressing Romeo and sort of just forcing him to deal with several threats at the same time. And then, of course, it then sort of sets up tactically strong positions that makes it really difficult for Romeo to just move through. So overall strong play there by Tobis. But Romeo should be soon able to turn around with a tank, because Tobis, for all his tactical finesse, is strategically not keeping up pace. This is definitely, I think, a good spot there for Romeo can basically pull ahead of Tobis if he plays his cards correctly. Tobis is going for a lot like Kedmeth, so I'm not entirely sure what Tobis is planning here. He is going for take there, but considering the old situation, he should just, you know, be able to just take the hit faster than Romeo and not needing double Kedmeth. Of course, it might just be a healthy paranoia from Tobis. Sight on the calf point here. Interesting choice there by Romeo. Not what I figured. Not what I figured. South approach, that's massive success. We've got the M20 roaming about here with vets in it already. And a quick panzer fast there. We got Caden for nearby riflemen moving in. MD-34 though covering nicely. Not enough troops there following up. And we got the paratroop squad sitting back trying to go for a deeper flank against MD-34. Should have an impact. Fulton being pushed back by the lieutenant. And Tobis' Schwerer Wehrmacht Schlepper has finally arrived at the front. And there you go. Paratroops heading in there. If Tobis reacts too slowly, there's a high likelihood of a wipe here with a tactical assault from the paratroop. Note, Tobis reacts just, I think, in the nick of time here to avoid a full wipe down the MD-34, which would have been a huge boon for Romeo if he'd been able to secure that one away from Tobis. Ground the point, the rifle setting up. I'm trying to being fixed up. Good to go again. Back here, movement, and we got a spare punticle set up. Interesting enough, he's not trying to cover sort of vital points. He's just setting up a bit further ahead, and also in a spot where his opponents are more likely to, no, and less likely to sort of go to sort of try and destroy it actively. It's also going to be a bit trickier. So I think that's sort of a reasonable position there by Tobis. We'll see what he does next. Romeo though needs fuel. I mean, in this regard again, Tobis' consistent harassment has prevented Romeo, I think, from able to get a Sherman here, meaning Tobis does not risk getting hit by a tank before he's got anything ready. And now Romeo is sweeping towards the south there, hits a landmine. Gonna need to fix that. Ralph squad team is jumping to the challenge, straight into the unit in heavy cover with flamethrowers. That's definitely not going to work out well there for Romeo. And there you go, Panzer on the way for Tobis and the 1 and 16th Panzer Division Rheinhund. Romeo flying man pop, could consider another paratroop squad, could consider 50 caliber machine gun tech to help keep Tobis infantry control. That would not be a bad choice. Pathfinders could also maybe assist, and there you go, Steel Panzers paratroopers. Quickly taking them down to just 2 men, and there you go, Tactical Assault's going to go try and go for the wipe here. Oh, he got it wipe, he got the wipe, and a flamethrower was dropped. He can't pick it up here with the paratrooper squad, but he can't get the lieutenant over there, I think. That is pretty big. Then there you go, Tobis goes, wow. Tactical Assault is a really underestimated ability, to be honest, and great use of their Romeo variant. It's definitely one of my favourite abilities in the game alongside Tactical Advance, which is the Stormtrooper version. It's also one of the reasons why I think Stormtroopers are amazing, and I'm surprised not more people go for them, because Tactical Advance is similar to Tactical Assault. They're bloody amazing. Sherman away there for Romeo, but it's going to be a bit behind here. Tobis, who has pulled ahead with the Panther in this case, he's looking, I think, like he might lose the M20 then again. He's close to getting a kidney over there. 5th cavalry breaking through. They might have to pop a smoke screen just in case. No, 9th force retreat. But with the Panzer IV, he could definitely, I think, benefit from some more M20 mines. So that way, you know, catch up the Panzer and immobilize it, making it an easy target for the anti-tank guns. Tobis will up some Obersoldaten in here for the 1 and 16th Panzer Division Rheinhund. Men who have seen much action. Also, another fun fact, the Surds were not particularly impressed with the M1 anti-tank gun either, due to it having not actually particularly impressive rate of fire. I believe it also struggled in the cold. At least there were several American weapons that tend to struggle when it was actually cold. I think the bazookas one, the chomps might have been one, and I think the M1 could possibly be another. But there's definitely some issues with American weapons and the cold. And there go Orbison squad out. They could go there for the LMG-34, and there go it goes. Good output. I do feel like Tobis' use of the doctrine has been pretty weak. I mean, no MP40s, just flamethrowers, no Open Blitz, no light infantry gun. It's just, I mean, the flamethrowers are great, and obviously you could just go just for that, but it feels like he's just not playing it, I think, to its full strength. There goes Shannon hits though. Fails to penetrate on the other hand. Got the anti-tank and they're following up here. Shoots and misses the Sherman tank bit. Oh, the Panzer IV, not the Sherman. Obviously it's going to miss the Sherman tank because it's not even firing at it. My God, we missed the Sherman tank. What are you on about, Carl? Yeah, I love freedom. Mickey Mouse, democracy, baseball. Yeah. Whew, close one. More full screens for Tobis now. Maybe some MP40s, maybe assault rifles at this stage. I think MP40 is just going to have more of a splash impact. Plus, of course, cut fire with a bit of smoke. Panzer IV being pulled back for repairs. M20 is still not laying down any mines. I mean, he's really lucky that just Tobis doubled down on flamethrowers. I mean, he would just lay down a bunch. Oh! He spotted here Tobis, Romeo's forward position. He's calling an artillery strike on the anti-tank gun. Stuka Fusses unleashing hell. trees being torn apart. Mostly the trees, really. This is the forward observer reporting tree destroyed. We're looking to destroy Americans. Oh, but in this case, it's a failure. If the plan was to destroy the trees, though, mission successful. Oh, scheiße. Will it be laying down mines, though? I mean, again, additional mines could prove to be extremely beneficial here versus Tobis. I mean, again, if he catches up that Panzer IV at a really bad spot with a mine, boom, down goes that Panzer. McKenna lands a good hit there on the Sherman. Lieutenant not been fully reinforced, not in the reasons. In fact, he might be moving a bit too far, though. It could have been a misclick there, just an accidental, you know, selection there, and they just somehow got drawn in. Don't think Romeo's quite aware of it. There we go. Suddenly became very aware of it. Painfully aware, even. He might want to use smoke here from the Sherman's going to keep up like that. Otherwise, I don't know, it just seems a bit weird. And there you go, Panzer IV rushing in, paratroopers unsupported. He's going for the cop on. He's trying to cut off Tobis' fuel supply, which is obviously good, but again, lack of smoke. Well, he might now know how it felt for Tobis' first filter squad up there. They got wiped. Oh, never mind. They got away. Mentions one there for the anti-tank gun. Armor piercing rounds there. Take aim would be helpful, or just some support there for the anti-tank gun. Obviously, they're making shot work of the crew. Was that a mine that went off? That was only a big boom. Seems like the Romeo's forgotten about his M20. They're probably playing cards inside the car right now. Moving in, not fully repaired though. That felt like a really weird call there by Romeo. He's calling another anti-tank because he's not sure he can actually get to the other one. At least that's my theory there. We'll have to see if it sticks, but he's still not doing much with the M20. And there you go, Panzer IV hit the mine. It's immobilized. The treads have been blown off. And Romeo, I think, is he aware of this? Is he actually aware of this? I think, yeah, I think he's aware. But he's sending his heavily damaged Sherman to try and hit. I might be able to. Yeah, it could be. It's just one hit there. He's going to try and go in there for a flank shot to increase his chance of getting a penetrating hit in the first go. There we go. He got the Panzer IV. M20 mine paid off. Again, like they're good. You go for them for a reason. The good work there by Romeo, knocking out Tobis' Panzer. That is a big loss. He can go for another one. Though, of course, at this stage, he might be tempted to try it for a Panther, maybe. Pedro, we got Fulton nearby. No upgrades for these chaps. So he has plenty of ammunition to do so. Again, I think he's sneaking in some MP4s, though, I think. How about Tobis nicely? Back here, reinforcement healing. Well, if you can go for the wants to go for the Panzer IV, the time is now. Yeah, he's going for the Panzer IV, the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung J, the last model of Panzer IV. Fixing up the Sherman, M20 there in need of repairs as well. Oh, there's a fire extinguisher. That's nice. He realised he positioned it behind the tree. Oh, it's cover, but apparently they can't shoot through the tree. Helmut, yeah. I understand this position provides us with lots of cover, but how are we supposed to shoot a Maschinengewehr? I see your point, Fritz. I see your point. I'm trying to down. They got blasted in the double cameras. Also realised here, Tobis is like super low in victory points. I mean, Rome's actually able to control the victory points quite nice. There you go. Damage engine. So while he was able to clear out the Raketten quickly, he might be losing the shot. No, he gets both Rakettenwerfers. The Sherman survives that. Oh, goodness. We got artillery called in, the MU-34. Troops getting massacred here by the Sturmpioneers and the Oberson. We got the Sherman nearby. Panzer IV, those moving in to try and deal with this. Artillery goes through. It's going to go through the artillery. Oh, jeez. Would have been disgraceful. He lost the Panzer IV somehow to that. There we go. He finally gets the Sherman We'd survived so much else. He was also close to losing his Sturm Pioneers and Obersoldaten. Second Sherman about there, he's got an anti-tanker nearby. The one is there has been not recruited. And now we got the pen falling in there, supported by the Volkswagen to take on the Sherman. Sharp bounce, he's going to have to recruit this. He also needs to reposition the ambulance. Because it's right now in front of everything. No, he doesn't need... Oh dear. Talk about a change in tides. Oh, the reason's getting wiped now. And he's still not moving the ambulance. I don't know what's wrong there for Romeo. Looks like something just... He got overwhelmed. There's something cropped up all the way though. That is quite the turnaround. He was just obliterating Tobis. And then Tobis just turned it all around on a goddamn coin and just began beating up Romeo. That was crazy. Romeo can soon go for another Sherman. Of course, he might consider Jackson tank destroyer. Troops are reinforcing healing for Tobis. Troops setting up, fixing up the Sherman. Now the ambulance there for Romeo. Like Ken was been accrued or even salvaged there by Tobis. There he goes, just going to scavenge them. He's going to wreck the anti-tank gun there. Anti-tank gun down. Bravo and Sherman support moving ahead here. So what is Romeo going to do now while he waits for the second Sherman? He's going to try and go on in another anti-tank and maybe not lose this one before even recruiting it. What will he do? MD-34, they're carrying the Pentaphone nicely. Good work there by Tobis. A real flexible usage of the MD-34 versus the opponent. They've got wrapped up to get wiped out. And I think that's the first infantry wipe here that Romeo suffered from Tobis. So far it has been Romeo who's been wiping Tobis' troops. Well, he also lost the Vietnam squad. Never mind me. Never mind me. Kill site there in the house, though Tobis is very quick to reposition. Now Tobis is pulling hat for another Panther even as Romeo is just chucking along with the one Sherman. Big assault here, but rather bunched up, making it easy for the Panther 4 and the machine guns and all that to just repulse them. I think Romeo in that regard needs to reconsider his assault tactics a bit and also needs to consider striking other parts of the map rather than right out where Tobis is sort of, focusing his really big guns. And there you go, Romeo calls in another anti-tank gun. This time I imagine he's going to be a bit more determined to actually crew the thing. And turn it against Tobis, who's still at 51 victory points. I mean, he's really close to losing the mission. Romeo just makes one successful push against the victory points and hold them for just then a few minutes. He wins. I mean, Tobis is in a pretty tricky situation. And he's got a lot of force, but one mistake here and it could still all be gone. But at the same time, can't afford you not to pressure either. Of course, then Romeo has a chance to rebuild his forces rapidly, so there's a lot of things to be careful of. It does help that Romeo is starting here and providing map control and projecting himself across the map, which makes it easy for Tobis to defend because for some reason currently there's like no effort from Romeo up north. Panzer Force from Mina going for the rifle and engaging them with main gun and machine gun. Sherman still in repairs. Looks like I think he's aiming up here for a Jackson tank destroyer just for some more long range firepower versus Tobis and his armor. I could be wrong there though. I could pull a surprise and just go for Sherman anyways, but I'm starting to get the feeling there's a Jackson and incendiary armor piercing runs. Very good timing there by Tobis. Increasing damage down there as Romeo charges ahead once more. No smoke. from any Shermans or mortars. No really flanking attempts either. So good work there by Tobis. Less good work by Romeo. Also getting blasted by the Americans out in the open. Let's got us out there by Tobis. Lieutenant Hibbert supports there. Go. Jackson is on the way for Romeo. Jackson is on the way.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Paratroopers catching some of Romeo's troops as the Marine. In fact, there's paratroopers which are veteran free, but also quite exposed targets there. Pulls with the lieutenant. Getting some good hits in there and fixing out the Panzer IV. Almost done, almost done. Jackson halfway down there for Romeo. He is quickly bleeding out victory points, and Romeo really needs to change up his tactics. Because so far he's only making it pretty easy for Tobis to defend. Which is generally not what Romeo should be aiming for. Panzer IV moving in. Jackson almost done. Anti-tank moving paired with the take rate from the Panzer IV. There you go. Folks with pushback. Paratroopers pushback. Anti-tank and Sherman opening up here on the Panzer IV. Taking it down to half over there. Got a kid opening up. Shoots a tree. I think there's some debris. I don't know. Takes a hit there from the Kidnapper though. Panzer IV moving up, gaining Retinue 2. Grabbing the southern victory upon there. Jackson moving up, shoots and penetrates the frontal armor of the Panzer IV there. And the tank moving in. He still needs to deal with their machine gun. I mean, again, the smokes can hear from the Sherman would easily be able to neutralize it, allowing him to push ahead here without much fear. But instead, he gets the Sherman stuck close then. Taking out, need to get the anti-tank and firing. Pull back the Sherman. Pop armor piercing rounds there. Good. Take aim though. Good, good. But also the armor piercing rounds. Almost got the Panzer IV, almost! Could I think position the anti-tanking just a bit better, but there you go. Both Panzer IVs heavily dinged up. Though so is Romeo's Sherman. But now the victory point is slightly open, except there's still the anti-tank gun. You could have still smoked that with the Sherman. At least he's beginning to pressure Salfords here. And he's sniping at the machine gun with his Jackson. There you go, flanking, fixing up the Jackson, fixing up the Sherman. And you've had full crew finally being forced out of its position, actually able to hold quite easily for some time here versus Romeo. And there you go, Ruff's got about to get wiped out, engaged here by Orbis without eventually feet, and the Panzer IV, they suffer horrific losses, getting annihilated. And he's about, I think, to lose the paratroopers the same way if it doesn't change up things that Jackson shoots at a Kidnapper crew member before taking a return hit, and oh no, for some reason the vehicle crew stopped repairing? That sucks for Romeo. Lieutenant flank behind the Orbison, but they are just too easy targets here for these hardened German infantrymen. Fixing up the Sherman, fixing up the Jackson. There you go, geballte Ladung. Charging in the Sherman there, but right within Panzerfahr's range, and still not fully fixed, so still gets damage in. There you go. Tobis and his Panzer IV's got a mechanized regiment up there, so he can support and repair his Panzers, but there you go, anti-tank and supporting. Shoots and pings off the Panzer IV's frontal armor. 51 was in 253. I mean, Tobis is still pretty close here, but Romeo is slowly edging back. There's beginning to float resources. I'm guessing that Romeo's just setting up for another Sherman here. He should still commend himself, I think, towards getting at least one momentum squad. I mean, he's actually pretty low on that. Jackson shoots and spectacularly misses. Anti-tank and shoots and bounces. A bit of bad luck there for Romeo. There you go. Penetrating hit from the Jackson. Rifle moving in, but they're supposed to be in heavy cover. And Stu and Pioneer moving towards the point there. Romeo should be able to go for a Sherman about now. Yup. He could in theory also go for the Scot if he wanted to. But he definitely should not be doing exploiting all these resources. He's also got access there now to a P-47 rocket strafe, so I suppose he would sort of bait his opponent into arm and assault. He could call in the P-47 to try and take it out, or them out. Jackson getting very close there to Veteran League 2. Still no calling. Is he aiming for a second Jackson? I mean, that is an option. But he's too short on infantry, I really think, to be able to carry that off. I mean, if he's going for a second Jackson, he's definitely going to need more infantry. No, there we go, Sherman. Even then, more infantry would be good. More infantry would be very good here. And there going MG-34 bang in action. Could still lay down the smoke screen in front of it with a Sherman. And a tank and Jackson slightly move ahead here. Got the assault going through the south. Panzer IV full to the Kedden Alpha. There we go. Panzer IV taking quite a bit of fun there. We got Orbison pushing ahead there. Veteran 3 close to Veteran 4. Rifle getting excoriated. There you go. Veteran 4 game before them being repulsed. And there you go. Creeping up for the south. They could actually go for a deeper flank. Try and get behind the anti-tank and the Jackson. And he actually lost something. There you go. Paratroopers wiped out a Fulton Grenadier squad. Scoring a kill there for America. That's a bit of a loss for Tobis, but overall, still got a lot of your force. He's still got more infantry, which is really important in this situation. And there you go, Panther 1 wing hit, Betty 2, Panther 1 nearby. Paratroopers immediately beating a very hasty retreat here. There you go, second Sherman arriving, switching over to high explosive rounds, interestingly enough. I'm not entirely sure why he is so eager on that one. Sherman engaging folks guns out there. Direct hit here from Kedden for gaining Veterans 1, and we got another MG-34 on the way for Tobis to further make it hard here for Romeo to pull a hit. But there you go, Romeo's just going in tactical assault here, maybe to help finish off the Folks Grenadiers. Nah, too late now. Panzer Force moving in, all of a sudden moving in. He needs to get the tank destroying the other Sherman down. The other assist Sherman is toast. There you go, direct hit from the veteran Panzer 4 crew, paratrooper from charging out. He's calling in the air support. He's calling in the P-47s. Jackson there flanking the Panzer 4. Paratroopers getting bung grenaded, almost wiped out here by the orbital done. P-47s, rockets flying. Panzer IV finds his main gun out, and oh, he was so close here. An aircraft shot down there because turns out Tobis Panzer IV, I think, is just really good with his machine gun. 8 rounds here. Oh, he doesn't have the resource for it thanks to the P-47s. But there you go, direct hits here from the P-47, taking down to a sliver of health. That's some pretty intense stuff there. Both Panzer IVs have been brutally scarred in the battle against the Americans. Romeo really should call some extra infantry. In this case, I'd probably just suggest George calling in paratroopers and sticking arrive at the front line immediately. Sherman they're hanging about. The other Sherman, I think, is gone actually. No idea where it went down though. Apparently one of the Shermans got destroyed and I didn't realise it.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
And got wiped here thanks to bun grenade. Alas, poor Romeo. The man got blasted. He's sending in the Jackson. He's going to, I think, try and go for the veteran Panzer IV. There we go. Shoots. Sherman supporting. Romeo is really sort of trying. He's finally now getting a bit more creative with his attacks, but at this stage I feel it's too late. Like he's just suffered too many losses without doing sufficient damage to Tobis at this point. So now it just feels like too little, too late here by Romeo. Too little, too late. Like most of his infantry force has been depleted, hasn't been replenishing them, so he's just down to 2 infantry squads and the Mega now. I mean, he is severely undergunned compared to Tobis, who's got 5 infantry squads and 2 Panzer IVs. Like, Romeo's just not handling it too well tactically. That's the fight went on, I think. There you go, pushed away. Jackson being fixed up. Hot in pursuit here with the Fulton Grenadiers, quickly crushing half the unit and almost finish off the rest here with a machine gun. Aggressive, but excellent play there by Romeo. But he's starting on 51. Tobis is still at 51 there. Tobis just seems to have stabilised hard. Romeo going for more Shermans, but he's still really short on troops. Oh, that's where the Sherman went. That's where he got blown to bits. There we go. Direct hit there from the anti-tank and on the Panzer. Well, there's still a mine in the way, and I don't think... Yeah, Romeo's not aware. Straight into it. There you go. The still hits in the Panzer 4. 8-trap rounds will probably help him finish it off. But he doesn't go for it. In fact, had he 8-trap rounds, then the Panzer 4 would have been dead. Most places never use that 8-trap round, do they? And there you go. Panzer 4 down. There's still the other one, though. Come on, 8-trap rounds, Romeo. 8-trap. There we go. He finally pops it. Feels too late, though. Feels too late. He popped it sooner. Probably could take out the Panzer 4 sooner and take that up with the first here, Panzer 4 instead. Complete destruction of Romeo's almost remaining armoured force. There's one Sherman left, but now it's up. Oh, he got a veteran defeat, Panzer 4. Victory points are taking out of his hands, and he's barely got any troops to support his tanks. And Tobis is just digging in here very hard. There we go, veteran from the opposite side. Paratroopers charging into the MU-34s. And they're going to tank and almost annihilate it.
Allied AT gun has been destroyed.
Rolling in the Sherman tank. Romeo really needs more infantry. Got the Panzer 1 again. There you go, Lekedva hitting the Sherman. Panzer 4 flanking. Misses the Sherman. Lekedva found the other hits again. Panzer 4 Lancer, and there you go. Veteran 4. Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg. And there you go. GG from Romeo. Last Sherman down, and with this, the first armoured edition falls back. Past the wreckage of burning Shermans and the dying gasps of their men. A brutal battle here on across the road to Kharkov. Was really close for Romeo to pull through, but the ultimate thing is, well, at a certain point, tactically, just sort of evaporate, just like very much sort of brute force tactics, applying them to an extent with some decisiveness. But the problem was, at certain points, one Tobis sort of got adjusted to them, sort of began setting up kill zones much more efficiently. Romeo just began suffering heavy casualties, not progressing anywhere. Whereas again, if he just tried shifting where he attacked, trying to play around Tobis' defences, he probably could have done a lot more damage. But the problem is, he just kept trying to crush them head on. And Tobis was just able to, constantly punish Romeo for that, and Romeo just kept doing it. It's like until the very end did Romeo realise maybe he should try and change up tactics. But at that point, he just lost too much. He was also too slow in replacing infantry losses, which meant he struggled with controlling the map. And there was also sort of, besides a few tactical assaults in and one mine, not a lot of ability uses there. In fact, I think Romeo would have done a lot better with more mines, to be honest. Phew, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed today's match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in replay and some feedback in the comments section. And this is Imperial Link. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow for another sunny episode. Bye.